Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for being here. I'm an alcohol-free lifestyle coach, and I'm really excited about our call today because you are the sleep expert. And as we know, sleep is integral to our health and affects so many areas of our life. My role is not to help people decide to quit, but to learn how to love living alcohol-free. So my community challenge is to just get people in our local community to get out and exercise and join fitness classes and yoga classes and meet for social meetups without alcohol. And then when I saw your work, I wanted to include that into the challenge. I'm happy to have you. And let me introduce you what you shared with me. So, Melissa, you're a sleep coach and a licensed therapist, an addiction counselor with over 18 years of experience. You've struggled yourself with sleep and understand feeling frustrated and overthinking and feeling stressed and overstimulated and completely exhausted. You tried everything: doctors, therapists, coaches, books, and taking specialized training. And now you have developed a program that finally gave lasting results. And you're sharing everything that you've learned in a free group and specialized 8-week program called Your Best Sleep, designed specifically for ambitious women, but I think men can learn a thing or two who want to change their
I will listen to them too.
okay, who want to change their sleep for good and finally get restorative sleep that they've been dying for. So, with that,
Absolutely.
I would love to hear a little bit more about you, anything that comes to mind, and the connection between alcohol free and sleep, how you see it.
Yeah. I'm so glad to be here and I'm excited. I think that what you're doing is really cool. I love seeing the trend of people like choosing to be alcohol free instead of being like forced to quit because
Mm,
of a health problem or because they've gotten in legal trouble or their family is falling apart or whatever. I
mhm.
think it's just so cool that so many people are embracing like sober living. And I think it's awesome. Or even alcohol free living. I don't even know if you'd call it sober, but alcohol free.
Mhm.
So I think very cool. Yeah, so I specialize in sleep. I've been a mental health counselor. I'm also a licensed addiction counselor. I've been doing this work for 18 years. My first job out of undergrad, I was a correctional officer. I did that for 3 years. I started my graduate degree while I was doing that job, just like going to school at night. And then my first therapy job was actually at a drug and alcohol treatment center. I worked in a social setting detox. So people from the community would be brought in, they would get detoxed. We had like halfway house beds there. We had some inpatient treatment, some outpatient treatment, some drug and alcohol evaluation services,
Wow.
preventative services. We were like a comprehensive treatment center in my community for drug and alcohol treatment. So I got to do like a bunch of stuff. I ran a specialized group for people who actually had like severe addictions and psychotic disorders,
Wow.
which was really fun. So yeah, I did that work for a long time. Got my master's degrees actually while I was a drug and alcohol counselor because you don't necessarily need a degree to do that type of
Mm,
work. And I started working as a school counselor for 10 years, but I always had another job. I was either a mental health counselor or a drug and alcohol counselor, like in the evenings and in the summer times while I was a school counselor. And then I took a brief little break from counseling and became a coach, like a personal trainer and a nutrition coach. And I did that for a few years and then had the opportunity to open a private practice. So now I have a private practice and I love working with anxiety and sleep. I work a lot with substance abuse, like one on one now. And then I decided to add coaching and then decided to specialize in sleep because sleep is just the thing that impacts so many people with mood disorders, with substance disorders.
mhm.
It's just a thing.
Right.
And I knew like even struggling with it myself and not really finding anything that worked very well. The truth is like I reached out to doctors, I reached out to coaches, I tried all kinds of things and I eventually was like, you know what? I'm a therapist. Like sleep is a natural like force. Like I should be able to fix this. These people have not been able to help me successfully. So I bought this book and it was actually published in the 90s. It was an old sleep book, but I had a 6-week program and I put myself through it. Like every night I did the night stuff, every morning I did the morning stuff, and I
Wow.
put myself through it and I actually changed my sleep. And a lot of it is actually based on old sleep science. Like in my program now, I've pulled a lot of it because it's not actually accurate, but it was in the 90s.
Wow.
And then I've taken specialized sleep trainings. I'm CBTI trained. I've done like holistic trainings in sleep and just incorporated it into like the dream program,
Wow,
I think. So yeah,
that's
just
awesome.
a little bit about
Oh my gosh.
a lot about me, for a
Yeah, no,
while.
that's a great picture. You definitely have the full spectrum of anyone that could be potentially listening to this and struggling with alcohol. And I also just want to clarify because your license is in, I can't remember which state you're in,
So I'm in South
South
Dakota.
Dakota.
So for
Right.
therapy, I'm licensed in South Dakota and Idaho
Hmm.
just because I see a client there. And then I can do a little bit of work. I'm not fully licensed in Minnesota,
Hmm.
but I have a partial license for a limited amount of days, but in South
Okay.
Dakota. But then my coaching,
Great.
which is sleep specific, is open to everybody worldwide
Okay.
and it's not therapy.
Yeah. Just wanted to
Yep.
clarify that for people.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And a lot of things that you said I'm hearing questions about. I have a friend that was like, "What would she do? How would she help me?" So
Sure.
that 6-week program that you're talking about, like, where do you begin to even help someone with sleep if they, or what's the first symptom that people are bringing to you, I guess, when they're struggling with sleep?
Yeah. Yeah, so, the program I put myself through was 6, my program's actually
Mm,
8 weeks. So, I it's if you wanna improve your sleep, the first thing would be sleep issues, and that really can be, like, subjective. People come to me with all kinds of sleep issues, and I'm a trained therapist, like, 18 years plus.
mhm,
So, when you ask me a question, I'm probably gonna ask you, like, 20 to 40 questions in our conversation to like really get into what are you actually experiencing? What is the problem?
mhm,
What is that experience like? What is your lifestyle like? What's your job like? What's your stress? What's your health like? What does your day to day look like? And that would help me like really dig into the sleep issues. My program incorporates a lot of stuff. Like it's not just a CBTI program. I'm trained in that and I pull different pieces from what I've learned into it, but it's more of a holistic sleep program. So if you're having trouble sleeping, it's most likely gonna have something for you unless you have, like, sleep apnea
mm,
or restless leg or something like that, that's a medical issue. I'm a behavioral health counselor, like, I can't treat that.
mm,
But if it's more of, like, a behavioral sleep problem, it's gonna really tie in any probably sleep issue you have
mhm.
that's, like, a non-medical.
So it sounds personalized to the person. Like you can't, it's not a one size fits all. You have to really meet with the person a little
No,
bit.
other than sleep issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, the way I developed it is it's got a whole lot of effective sleep strategies, but part of the program is it's called my ambition and rest plan, which is highly individualized. You do a sleep assessment and you go through and it's 13 pages. It's not short. It's assessing like every single area of your sleep, your habits, your behavior, your lifestyle. And then what I do is I break down that sleep questionnaire and we talk about like the different things that could be impacting your sleep. I think I might have froze.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
gonna keep
still
talking
hear
though.
you though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
Mhm.
I like I have so then it's gonna pull in like different factors or different things that can help with that particular sleep issue. And then you have like your plan. You're pulling different things about your sleep and you're identifying like what truly are my issues because somebody might be doing shift work and that's mostly their issue. And they need to figure out how to effectively do shift work or move out of shift work so that they can have a good sleep and a
Mhm.
natural circadian rhythm instead of their sleep flip flop.
Mm,
Some people have stress. Some people don't have stress, but they're still not sleeping well, but their habits are terrible. Some people drink caffeine till late in the night. Some people are drinking a lot of alcohol. Like it can just be a whole lot of different things with sleep.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would assess, or in the program, you self assess and then you pull in the things that are going to help with your particular sleep issues.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
How a lot of people that are in this challenge may not be ready to quit drinking, and that's okay. The goal is not necessarily that they have to be alcohol free, but to encourage
Sure.
alcohol free living and experience it,
Uh-huh.
even if they're just taking a break. But I guess I'm
Mhm.
wondering, how do you get someone motivated to pay attention to their sleep? I don't know if you hear that a lot, but like people
Sure.
may just be like, I don't sleep that well, but I'm just gonna suck it up.
Yeah. I actually do truly believe most people are willing to suffer with poor sleep for a
Mhm.
lifetime. Most of the people I talk to have struggled with sleep for years. if not their entire life. And maybe it's episodic, maybe it's seasonal, but most of them have struggled for years and years. And when I say years, like if you're 30, maybe you've been struggling with it for 30 years or
Mhm.
like 20 years. Um, and I'm not sure why people are willing to struggle with poor sleep. My guess is they're frustrated, they feel helpless, they think it's just the way life is.
Mm.
They probably think there's nothing they can do about it, or maybe they've tried things and they've been unsuccessful. But I think there's a lot of reasons people are willing to just put up with poor sleep.
Mhm.
And I've been a personal trainer, I've done nutrition
Mhm.
coaching, I've done
Mhm.
therapy, I've been in the justice system. People are willing to put up with a lot of shit forever
Right.
for a lot of reasons. When
Mhm.
you dig into it,
Mhm.
it really makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
But yeah, people are willing to not get healthy. People are willing to have poor sleep. People are willing to drink and use drugs and
Mhm.
suffer the consequence. People
Mhm.
are willing to not improve relationships. Like
Mhm.
people are willing to stay in a job that they hate for an entire career for retirement. Like
Mhm. Mhm.
people are really willing to suffer a lot.
Right.
And, like, I would say people probably aren't a great fit for my sleep program, but for people who want to change their sleep and are motivated and have an inkling of, "Yeah, I wanna change my
Mhm.
sleep and this would really benefit," it would be a great
Yeah.
fit. Now, if there was somebody who, like, didn't care about their sleep, they're probably gonna waffle around for 8 weeks and not do anything that I tell them to do because 'cause they're not motivated.
Mhm.
I would say, "I'm save your money, don't do anything
Right.
about your sleep."
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair. I think everyone has to be ready, and that's why I also don't encourage people to quit drinking. Honestly, for me, it was such a personal decision and very impulsive kind of to just make that decision. Yeah, people have to be motivated to do anything.
Yeah.
But how
Yeah.
about maybe paint the picture of what's on the line? What's the best case scenario if they do get good restorative sleep? Or maybe just even explain restorative sleep because people may not even realize that there's a difference, that there's quality
Mhm.
of sleep.
Yeah, and again, highly individual. It depends how someone is describing their sleep and how their sleep is impacting their life. But, like, for me, I struggled 2 times really a lot with my sleep. Like, I'm able to identify now because I've done so much work on it, like, what is gonna put me at high risk for not sleeping well, what it looks like when I get into the mind state of, "This is gonna be a bad night of sleep." And I've learned tons of skills to not allow that to happen as easily, or if it happens, to recover from it or to implement certain things to get my sleep back on track.
Mm,
That's pretty freaking empowering.
mhm,
That's not a helpless feeling at all.
mm,
It's, "Oh, okay." Like, I do some contract work for a school district, and I traveled now it was, like, 7 weeks ago, and it was, like, maybe the worst possible trip for my
mm,
sleep. Like, if I coulda there could have been some other things that I could have added to it that could have made my sleep worse, but there was a lot of challenges within that week. I was traveling with 10 high school seniors. I was traveling with people that I just met or just basically got to know, and we were working together like adults to care for these like 10 seniors. So lots of personality conflicts, or not conflicts, but just
yeah,
dynamics of
mhm,
not knowing anybody.
mhm,
I'm sleeping in places, having to have my phone on 24/7 when I'm at home. My phone is on sleep mode,
mhm,
and 3 people can call, and they're gonna get through, and nobody else can touch my
mhm,
and I had to have my phone, like, ready for anything. It was lots of busy days, traveling in areas where I wasn't super, like, familiar with, like, my sleep was so bad a
aw,
couple of those,
yeah,
but I knew that was probably gonna be the case, and I was prepared for that.
mhm,
And now I don't now if I get a bad night of sleep, if I get a couple bad nights of sleep, I know, "Oh, that's probably what it was." I know how to recover from that. It's super empowering because I know the powers behind sleep. I know how my brain and body works. I know how people's brains and bodies work, and I know what to do to mitigate that,
mhm,
minimize it happening, and then to recover from it when it does happen.
mhm, mhm, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and what are the
Yeah,
mm,
and what my program is, because I don't know, I have a little brother who could go, he could finish his day and crash and sleep great all night. Now me, I need to go, have some time, make myself some dinner, relax, do my nighttime wind down routine, get comfy, then I can sleep well. But,
mhm,
like, if to go crash, guess what I'm gonna do?
mhm,
I'm gonna be laying in bed thinking for 3
yeah,
hours because I need that time and I'm missing it, you know what I mean?
mhm,
So it's just, like, knowing that and that's where it is highly individualized. Everybody's different.
mhm,
No 2 people are the same. Anyone who's worked with people knows that.
mhm,
So, yeah, that's where it is. really individualized, but it's based on evidence-based treatment for sleep, science-backed things, brain and body stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, and they pulls it all together.
Awesome. So what kinds of benefits
Yeah,
did you notice after you really started being intentional about your sleep? What were some of the changes?
everything's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's better. My mood's better, my workouts are better. I go to bed, like, a way that I know I'm gonna sleep well. I don't stress about sleep. I don't stress about not having a good night of sleep. I get up at the same time every day. Even if I'm tired, this
Mhm.
morning I was tired, and it's because, honestly, I don't know how many females are in your group, but I started my period, and I could have probably, like, 3 or 4 more
Mhm.
hours if I wanted to. I got up, I went to the gym as soon as, like, my body temperature started rising, which, like, scientifically is going to make you more alert. I felt a lot better. So, yeah, I mean, everything is better. Like, when I sleep better, I, like, feel more, like, vibrancy for life. I am more willing to, like, want to go out and hang out with my friends and do things instead of just, like, coming home and relaxing.
Mhm. Mhm.
My pet, like, will go for extra walks because I feel freaking great. It's
Mhm.
like, "Alright, buddy, let's go for walks today instead of 42 walks you need to go on."
Mhm.
Like, it just improves everything.
Mhm.
Like, I'm in a mood for my family, for my clients. Yeah, sleep is just the foundation of everything.
Yeah.
And I think most people have similar experiences. They haven't been sleeping well versus when they start sleeping well.
Mhm.
Like, it's a significant.
Yeah. I think one of the challenges might be that most people don't realize how good they could feel, and good is subjective. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
what does that mean? But I hear you talk a lot about nervous system regulation, and it just reminds me of if the sympathetic nervous system's stuck on an on state, or how are you tapping into your parasympathetic nervous system, like the rest and digest? And how is
Mhm.
that what you're talking about when you say nervous system regulation? I think that you mentioned.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't usually use, like, that terminology. I
Okay.
have a different way to explain the nervous system
Mm,
that I've just developed, like, in the work that I've done. But, yeah, it's mostly, like, keeping yourself regulated
mhm.
versus highly aroused, fight, flight, freeze, fawn,
Right.
like, moving from that limbic system to that prefrontal cortex and
Mhm.
expanding your window of tolerance so that,
Mhm.
like, you actually know how you feel
Mhm.
and have a shift in that, you know how it impacts you when you're laying in bed in a certain state, like, you're aware of what's going on inside your body and your thoughts, and if I feel this way, I'm probably not gonna sleep,
Mhm.
like, revved up.
Mhm.
Like, in my free group, like, I do live trainings every single week, and I did one about anxiety, and I gave this example. So, I have a private practice, I own it, so I take care of everything. I do have a professional biller who does my billing, and usually when we communicate, it's about something stressful. It's not just usually, "Having a great day,
Mhm.
Melissa, hope you are too." No, it's about an issue with a client.
Mhm.
And so one night, I don't know why I did it, but I logged into my email at 9:30 and saw that I had an email about an
Mm,
issue, and I was like, "Dude, it's gonna get you, like, thinking about
mhm.
it, you're gonna wanna stop, you're gonna take care of it, you're gonna know, 'Oh my gosh, if I go to bed, I have to take care of this first thing in the morning,'"
Mhm.
and so I was like, "Oh," I was about to go to bed. Now I'm a little worked up.
Mhm.
Now I'm stressed about this. So I just stayed up a little bit longer till I worked myself out of that, and then I went to bed and it was fine.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. But had I gone to bed and not done all of that work and all of that personal work, like, I probably would have gone to bed and ruminated about it
Mhm.
for 2, 3 hours and then been like, "Oh my gosh, it's like midnight and I'm not asleep. I'm only gonna get 4.5 hours of sleep," or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I can, like, work within that to do things that are better for my sleep.
Mhm. Yeah, I think most people probably
Yeah.
don't recognize when they're in that fight or flight state, breathe even.
Or
Uh,
even know that it's a
yeah,
thing.
absolutely. People are so used to maybe feeling revved up. I think alcohol contributes to that as well because it just disrupts so much.
Yeah,
So, yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't know how many people are going to be stopping drinking or they're sober curious or alcohol free, where they're at. But as far as like encouraging people to decrease or live alcohol free when it comes to sleep, how have you seen letting go of alcohol benefit sleep?
I would really be looking at, like, why are you drinking? What is it doing for you? Do you like what it's doing for you? Is it giving you any negative? impacts when you tie it in with sleep. Like, number 1, alcohol is not even a food. Sometimes it has food. If you have, I don't know,
Milk
a
or
Moscow
something.
Mule
Mm.
with a shot of vodka and a lime. Ginger beer is a food.
Mhm.
Lime is a food. Alcohol is a straight up toxin. Like, it's
Mhm.
not even a substance. It's toxic to your body. It does nothing good for your sleep. However, I will say the one thing that is borderline good is it's a sedative and a nervous system depressant. And so if you're revved up, if you're not tired, if you take a shot or you take a drink, it is going to feel, you're going to feel a sense of calm. That's what it does. That's how it works. But it's not, it will give you a sense of calm. It will help you fall asleep, but it's going to take away from your sleep throughout the night. Like, you're not going to get to those deep levels of sleep. It's going to disturb your sleep. Research has proven that. It's not Melissa's opinion, it's
Mhm.
research.
Mhm.
It's actually not good for your sleep. Feels works because it does, but it like works, but there's like this detriment to your sleep as well.
Mhm.
Alcohol contributes to anxiety, especially if you're drinking at like higher levels. It's not good for your health. It's really not good for anything,
Mhm.
but it's highly accepted, highly accessible. A lot of it tastes very good. Like, it's
Mhm.
very rewarding, especially when
Mhm.
it's mixed with other things. There's a lot of reasons why people drink. Like, you can go out and drink and no one really judges you unless you're like super tanked. And then
Mhm.
sometimes in the right mix of people, they won't either.
My goal with Sober and Social Ann
Yeah.
Arbor is to just normalize not drinking, create spaces where it's
Yeah.
normal not to drink because it does feel like the biggest trick. I feel betrayed, honestly, by alcohol. It always promised to take the edge off or calm my nerves. And then it really is just a numbing effect. And then everything
Yeah.
I was stressed about just comes back even stronger. So it is a trick.
It really does.
Mhm.
It like, it's truly does.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would encourage people to, especially if they are, like, sober curious and they're like, "I just wanna see, like, how it feels to stop drinking." Do your challenge.
Mhm.
Stop drinking for 30 days. It's not like you forever.
Right.
It's like a behavioral experiment.
Right.
You could see
Mhm.
if your life gets better, if your life gets
Mhm.
worse, if your life stays the same,
Mhm.
and just it impacts you. Most people I've worked with, I'm gonna say close to everybody I've worked with who has successfully quit alcohol generally sees better things happen than worse things happen.
Yeah.
The one that people really, I think, struggle with the most is the loss of friendship and, like, social stuff,
Mhm.
especially if a lot of their social ties are related to drinking,
Mhm.
which is the case for a lot of people. That
Mhm.
can be hard, but that's where, like, your challenge is really helpful because it connects you with like-minded
Yeah.
individuals. Like, it's to go out with your friends who are getting tanked,
Mhm.
and you're drinking, like, water and then getting because they're being annoying
Mhm.
because 'cause they're
Right.
drunk, like,
Yeah.
not very fun.
Mhm. Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
thought too, is we actually have to learn how to live alcohol free. It's like really creating a new identity. And that does include
yeah.
a lot of loss and grief, which is
Mhm.
hard to process.
Socially, it's hard to explain why you're not drinking.
Mhm.
If you're like, "Oh, I'm pregnant," or, "Oh, I'm on a medication where I can't drink," people are, like, so accepting of it, or, "Oh,
Mhm.
I just got my 2nd DUI and I don't wanna go to prison and get a 3rd."
Right.
People generally like,
Mhm.
"Okay, that makes."
Yeah.
But if you're just like, "I don't want to," sometimes people give people
Mhm.
crap.
Yeah, the non-drinker has the down position currently, but my hope is that we'll start to shift and that I think of it as I wish the non-drinkers could take back more territory where it's just normal. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be the down position anymore.
Yeah, and I think they actually are,
Mhm.
especially in, like, youth.
Mhm.
I don't think as many younger people are drinking, and there's even, like, these cool, like, alcohol-free
Yeah.
bars that
Mhm.
are coming I don't know, I live in a pretty small town, so there's none here, but there is, like, an extensive, like, mocktail and NA
Mhm.
option at just about every bar here where I live, which I think is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, LA, I know I heard recently has a whole bar that's NA, and in our local community of Ann Arbor, we've been doing trivia at Lower Town Bar and Cafe. It's just a local spot. But yeah, they have and there was a lot of people drinking non-alcoholic stuff. Like you could see them, the servers delivering the drinks and stuff. So it was pretty cool. I'm excited
Yeah,
for that. Um,
I think it's awesome.
yeah. And it's just like one of those things where the cost, you have to weigh out the cost versus reward, right? It's like there's a cost for drinking and then there's a cost for not drinking. And you have, which one are you willing to
Yeah,
pay?
yeah, yeah. It totally makes sense, yeah, and what's worth it, like,
Mhm,
for you? What kind of life do you wanna have? Is
mhm,
it enhancing your life? Is it taking away from your life?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it just turns the lights off. Alcohol, it's just as soon as you take that first sip, it's like all, for me, all entrepreneurial ideas are out the window. Like all
Yeah.
motivation and inspiration. So yeah, of course that would make life feel dull, you
Yeah,
know. So the idea of
yeah,
not drinking, getting really good sleep and exercising and eating well and meditating and practicing yoga,
yeah.
to me that is the best case scenario of what our bodies are capable of. We have that potential to tap into.
I think that's
Mm,
amazing, and I drink occasionally, but I am always, like, weighing it, like, I will rarely, if ever, have a drink during the work week.
mm,
I will rarely, if ever, have one on the weekend where I care about what's happening the next day. If I'm okay with having a worse day, that's when I'll have a drink, but usually I'm not okay with that.
mhm.
On vacations, drink a lot on vacations. I am like, "Why would I be paying, like, $600 a day to be in this location away
Right.
from my
Yeah.
house, be
Yeah.
hungover?" Like, I am not a lazy person. That's never gonna happen for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Yeah. People go to Mexico and just lay at a pool and get intoxicated every single day, and I'm like, "I don't get
I mean,
it."
I
But
would have been that person, to be honest. So I wish that I could have had a relationship with alcohol that would have just been like, oh, I can take it or leave it or have it on the weekend or something. But that was not me. Mine was just more, once I started, it was like one or two every night. And so
yeah.
I had to cut it out.
Yeah, and that's so awesome that you know that about yourself
Mm,
too, and that you have the awareness to be like, "This isn't working for me
yeah,
anymore." Like, I
exactly.
wanna lifestyle.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
hoping whoever is in this challenge, they could be on any part of the spectrum and hopefully we'll still get
Yeah.
something out of the challenge and focus on their sleep. So maybe just some like any practical tips that would be broad that you would, I know there's sleep hygiene and there's some strategies about like sleeping in a dark room and the temperature and
Yep.
unwinding at night, but
Yeah.
yeah, what would you say like practical stuff?
Yeah, I'll definitely give you some broad strategies. Sleep routine is really important. That's usually where I start with people going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. If you can only do one, the one that I and any other sleep expert is going to recommend is getting up at the same time every day. That's a lot like easier. I say easy in quotes because it's not that
Mhm,
easy. People want to fight it. There's a lot of resistance to it.
mhm,
But sometimes you're just not tired at the same time every night until you get like your circadian rhythm, like, really in check. So getting up at the same time every single day, exposure to sunlight, natural light, or a 10,000 lux full spectrum light is nice if you're in a different place where you don't have a lot of early morning sunshine. Exercise is always really good. Early morning to, like, later afternoon is good, but, like, finishing your exercise, rigorous exercise anyway, within, like, at least 2 hours of sleep is good. So exercise is good. Keeping your blood sugar regulated and
mhm,
eating like good healthy meals throughout the
mhm.
day, not skipping meals. Caffeine impacts sleep. Research shows even people who think caffeine doesn't impact their sleep, it actually does impact your sleep.
Wow.
So reducing caffeine, keeping it 400 milligrams or less,
Mm,
not consuming the caffeine like within 8 to 10 hours of your bedtime. So not having caffeine like after noon or 2 o'clock is usually really good. Alcohol, we talked about
mhm,
alcohol is always going to negatively impact your sleep. We talked about the sedative effect, how sometimes it seems like it helps and it helps with sleep onset a little bit, but at the detriment of like your sleep throughout the night.
mhm.
Your room, having a comfortable room, having not a lot of lights, like a dark room, a cool room between 60 and like 67, 68 is preferable. Anything over 70 degrees is shown to negatively impact your sleep. Comfortable bedding, a bed partner who doesn't keep you up all night. That's a really hard one for
Yeah.
people, whether someone who snores or someone whose sleep apnea machine is just cranking all night. A really big pet kicks the crap out of you every night and wakes you up. We love to have our pets in bed, and my
Yeah.
dog sleeps in my bed, but he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a sleep partner who kinda complements your sleep. Let's see, what else? Comfortable things, I talked about that, comfortable
Mhm,
bedding, things
mhm,
like that.
mm,
At nighttime, getting yourself too revved up, really paying attention to, like, where you're at, if you're dysregulated or if you're regulated and calm, managing that stress, managing your anxiety, just a lot of different things can really impact your sleep.
mhm,
Yeah, having a nighttime wind down routine is really a good idea too, and that's just training your body that, like, when we do these things, it means it's almost time for sleep,
yeah,
and then ready.
mhm,
It's like a little kid. Like, I always tell the adults in my group, we know this stuff for our children and the kids in our life. We keep that structure and that routine very good, and
mm,
we know that when the structure is off, they're gonna suffer. We're the same.
yeah,
We just have, like, different skills to manage it a little bit more, but it still really impacts us when our schedule is off.
mhm.
So having it for yourself even when you're an adult is really, like, very powerful.
Mhm, I love that.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be a takeaway. That's such a good point. Like a bedtime story or like a bath and a bedtime story.
Yeah,
Maybe I think of tea for bed. Kids would probably, I don't know, have a glass of milk or something, but yeah, that
yeah.
makes so much sense. And I've heard
It's just conditioning your body
mhm,
to have a routine.
mhm,
Like, it's not even, like, deep psychology. It's just
so
basic,
true.
like, when this is showing
Mhm.
us we're ready for bed.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that it's safe enough for bed. I think that our
Y
bodies are so keyed into safety, and we're not being chased by lions anymore, but our body still thinks that
Right.
there are threats and dangers and things. Doesn't always
Yeah.
relax. So,
Yeah, and I'm glad that you brought that up
mm,
too, because that is another thing, like, I'll assess for people in my sleep program.
mm,
Is there some traumatic stuff that's happened at night? Which a lot of the times it has.
mhm,
Is that or is your body, like, bracing for, like, scary sleep?
mhm,
Is your current actually safe? Are you with an unsafe person in your
yeah,
family? Is your, like, neighborhood unsafe? Like,
mhm,
those are huge things to sleep.
yeah,
It's one of those things we can do things about. Some of those things are out of our control, like our neighborhood, unless we move. But then there's a lot of, like, different things you can do if you're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't sleep well because traumatic things happened to me when I was a kid." You can go to therapy and, like, work on those, and that can help improve that sleep.
mhm,
So, yeah, there's
yeah.
different
So
things.
that's probably
Yeah.
beyond
My
your yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say my sleep program doesn't dive into, like, trauma like
mm,
that, but I am aware that is a huge factor for a lot of
yeah,
people with sleep issues.
mhm,
So,
yeah,
yeah, doesn't mean that all the other things couldn't lift that up, but
mhm,
if that's, like, the very thing, that might be something to see a therapist for.
right.
Yeah, or even
Yeah,
like
I was
yeah.
thinking because they can work together. They don't have to be exclusive, therapy and coaching. No, it's not
Yes,
with
and
the
one
same
thing
person.
people Yeah. Yeah, yeah, not with me. But one thing people always ask me about too is medication, which we really didn't talk
Mm,
about a whole lot, but my program is medication free just because I'm a behavioral health counselor,
mm,
but that doesn't mean that I'm anti-medication. Like, you
mhm,
can still be on medication and do a sleep program. You can be working with your doctor for titration off of your medication to be getting off of it if you want to, or you could be like, I think medication is gonna work for me. Like, I wouldn't say no to that. I just wouldn't advise you on your
mm,
medication.
mhm,
I'd be like, "You but you need to see a doctor for medication." Like,
mhm,
I'm hands off because I'm a master's level therapist. Like, I
mhm,
can't mess with
mhm. And
Yep.
what type of all medication? Not all psychotropics.
I'm thinking sleep
Okay, yeah,
medication.
yeah.
If you're on it, I don't really
Yeah,
care.
yeah.
But yeah, like sleep medication. I actually have a lot of people ask me about sleep
Mhm,
medication, like, all the but yeah, you can be on sleep medication. I've been prescribed like 4 sleep medications throughout my life. Like, when I went to the doctor, that's what I got was sleep medication. Nobody even did any behavioral coaching or training or anything
mm,
with me. It was never even touched,
wow.
which is what the program it is. Yep.
Yeah, and that just brings me back to full circle a little bit to, like, our bodies are so incredibly intelligent, and they know for the most part, and there's a lot of disorder and disease out there, of course, but for the most part, they know how to thrive if we just give it the right tools and resources and sleep and nutrition and
Yeah.
exercise, and yeah, so it is amazing
Yep.
that everyone wants a pill, but our bodies are actually pretty smart.
They don't Yeah, yeah, and my like, again,
Mm,
you can be on sleep medication, be in my program, but it is a non-medication, non-supplement based.
mhm,
I'm not gonna be like, "You should get these 4 supplements."
mhm,
I'm just not gonna do that. Like,
mhm.
you can be on whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. I know we're getting toward the end of our time. I do have one question. I don't even know if you can answer this, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of talk about in the alcohol-free world of people waking up at 3 or 4. And I'm just really curious if there is really any evidence behind that it's like our liver detoxifying at that time. Just curious if you've had anything about that.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it specifically with alcohol,
Mm,
but that is generally the wake times that people tell me about when they wake in the middle of the night.
mm,
This is again where I have many questions. I'm thinking my sleep questionnaire that's in the first week of my program, it really deep dives into
mm,
that. Do you wake at night? And it breaks down like a lot of behaviors that can be associated with
mm,
it. It could be different. You might Here's a common thing. This is what I see most commonly. Okay. People wake at night. Maybe it's blood sugar. Maybe it's because they have to pee. Maybe
mhm,
it's because they wake up at 3 o'clock every morning and it's a pattern they've established.
mhm,
Whatever the reason is,
mhm,
they wake up, grab their phone,
mm,
look at their phone.
mm,
I'm going to try
mhm,
and this say, oh,
mhm,
it's 3 o'clock. And oh my God, this keeps happening to me.
mhm,
Why can't I freaking sleep? And then they get stressed. And then all of a sudden they're in a whole different brain state.
mhm,
They're pissed off, expose themselves not only to light, but to the actual time. And now they're in the spiral of stress. This is happening again. Oh my God, why is
mhm,
this happening to
mhm,
me? Blah. That's what I see more frequently. And so with that, I would probably ask a bunch of questions,
mhm,
but then I would most likely be like, "Don't look at your phone. Get your mindset in check. Try not to stress about it. If you're awake, whatever. It's 3 in the morning, like, maybe you get up at 6, you lose 3 hours of sleep. Your sleep load's gonna build throughout the day. The next night, you're gonna be tired. Go to bed, see if it happens again. Try to keep that stress down
mm,
so that, like, you're handling the situation very differently." That would probably be, like, my first protocol for just about
mhm,
anybody.
mhm. Yeah, that makes
Hopefully
sense.
that would
Yeah.
Yeah, different things, like, they could be going on, but my guess is it's not even a guess. It's after talking to most people about this. They get into a huge stress cycle about that.
Mhm.
Even if
Yeah, so even
Yeah.
if the body is detoxifying for I don't if that is a real thing at that time, I think it
Yeah,
is
I'm not a
waking.
detoxification
Yeah.
expert. I'd have to look to see if that's actually even the
Mm,
case and, like, what detox looks
mhm,
like. I worked in a detox center, but I wasn't doing liver testing on anybody
mhm.
because 'cause I've always just been a
Yeah, it's just like a
Yeah,
thing
maybe
I hear. I didn't really do
Yeah.
that, but when I was training really hard, probably post college in my 20s, I heard that it was adrenal fatigue that was waking me up in the
Mm.
night. So I don't know. Could a lot of things could be happening.
Yeah.
Mm,
Could be. You could always do, like, a series of experiments,
mhm,
like, you hypothesize like, working hypothesis is it's adrenal fatigue.
mhm,
Okay, what are some, like, things I can do for adrenal fatigue to lessen the likelihood that I wake up at
mhm.
3? I'm thinking that might be more, like, nutritional and stress
Yeah.
reduction,
Mhm,
but I'd have to
yeah.
Yeah, I just do some things like that and
Mhm,
see what works, maybe look research, look at PubMed
mhm.
if you're a nerd for some don't look on TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for all. I'm sure there's so much more that we didn't even uncover, but is there anything that's like on the top of your
I
mind that you really just want to get out?
I just love to get out and sleep, but I do think, like, anyone who is, like, watching this, I do think this is a very cool opportunity for you to do a behavioral experiment and abstain or choose not to drink alcohol for 30 days and just see how it impacts
Mhm,
you. Like, you can always pick it up by Christmas if you miss it a lot.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
agency
or you can do it
is theirs and no one's telling you not to. No one we're not even telling you to do the sleep stuff. It really has to be intrinsic and
Yeah.
you have to want
No,
it.
and honestly, most people don't wanna do sleep stuff. That is what I'm seeing. I
Mm,
work with people who wanna do something about
right.
their sleep. If you don't want to, do your thing,
Yeah.
like, we're not
I
fit.
just don't think people
Yeah.
realize how good they could actually feel because we get so we're such creatures of habit that we get so used to what is, we don't think about what's
I
possible.
agree
Mhm.
completely.
So,
I actually so when I did personal training and nutrition
mm,
coaching, people generally came to me with poor nutritional and training habits. Then they would try new habits. And, like, when I would coach them, they would be like, "Oh my gosh, I just want, like, the fast food I used to have." Like, maybe it's McDonald's.
Mhm.
And I'd be like, "Go get McDonald's. See how you feel."
Yep.
Never was like, "No, don't eat the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get the McDonald's."
Ri
And then would get it, and pretty much 100% of the time,
right.
they would feel terrible after.
Right.
And I'd be like, "What'd you learn?"
I know.
Like,
Some people,
yeah, but
don't
it sounds yeah, but they never noticed it when they would have because a lot of people
Mm,
have fast food every day, it's
yeah.
so easy,
Mhm.
and it's very normalized. Even, like, professional, smart people who know that's not good, they do it all the time.
Right.
So, like, a lot of the times they were, like, rolling into working with me, eating fast food, I don't know, 6, 7 times a week, and that was their normal, and then they'd establish a new pattern of behavior, and then I'd be like, "Do it. Go do it." I would do the same thing with someone who got their sleep on track.
Mm,
I'd be like, "Okay." Or who stopped drinking alcohol, especially if, like, they weren't gonna have a liver issue because they drink again, is go do it.
mhm.
See how it feels.
Mhm.
See if you versus how you feel now.
Mhm.
That's more powerful than me being like, "No, don't do
Right.
it."
I think people wanna do it more
Yeah.
when you tell
You
them
drink
not
the
to.
milk.
Yeah. Humans are such
Yeah.
interesting creatures. Um
We are.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. So, where can people find you? I know I have a list of your Instagram and
Yeah.
LinkedIn, which I'll definitely post. Oh, and your group I'll
Yeah.
put
Oh,
too.
yeah, my group is called Your Best Sleep on Facebook. I know she'll post the actual like link. Instagram, Melissa__good. Melissa Good on Facebook. I have a personal page and a business page you can follow. None, both, either. Instagram is probably where you'll get like the best content. And then inside of my Facebook group too, if you're on Facebook. LinkedIn, I do have a page, but I'm not super active on
Mm,
it.
mhm.
But I'd love to have you join. I post content just about every day. I do weekly live masterclasses in my Facebook group every single Thursday morning, but then they're posted for replay, so you don't have to catch them live based on things that people vote on. Yeah, and I try to give out a lot of helpful sleep content. And then, of course, I have my paid 8-week program if you're like, I really want to work on my sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome. That sounds great.
yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. And everyone, I hope that you have a great night's sleep. And I look forward to
You
seeing
too.
everyone in the challenge and hearing about all the stories of how you're feeling with exercise, yoga, meditation, and good sleep. So I'll see you later. See you in the Facebook group.